Assalamu alaikum everyone, I'm Aftab Khan. In today's video I'll be telling you guys how you can get your PR in Australia. So I'll be telling you the most popular ways, and there are a few visas through which you can get your PR in Australia. Most of the visas are already a permanent resident visa, so you can apply for that straight away. It does not matter if you're in Australia or if you're offshore, if you're applying from any other country outside of Australia. So these visas you can apply. Alright, so I will be discussing a few streams. Number one is skilled migration stream. So in skilled migration stream we have few visas, like we have three visas mainly, which is 189 visa, and number second is 190 visa, and number third is 491 visa. I will be just telling you quickly the requirements and a bit about those visas. So for the 189 visa, this visa is a point tested stream visa. You need to have 65 points minimum to apply for this visa. This is a permanent visa. Requirements are you should be under 45, you should have competent English, you should have a certificate, degree, and plus experience. So you need 65 points to apply for this visa, and those 65 points can be from your age, from your experience, from your education, and from your English. So the English requirement, you just need a competent English to apply for this visa. So for all the skilled migration stream visas, you need 65 points, age should be under 45, you need a competent English to apply for the visas, and you need a positive skills assessment. That was about 189 visa, and now let's move to the other visa, which is 190 visa. So for the 190 visa, again you need 65 points to apply for this visa. The difference between the 190 visa and the 189 visa is that the 190 visa is a state sponsorship, and you should be getting an invitation from a state or territory of Australia. Alright, the second difference is when you're applying for the nomination. So for the 189 visa, you are not getting extra points to apply for the nomination, but if you are applying to 190 visa, then you're applying to a state or territory of Australia, and then you are getting 5 extra points. So for example, if your total points you calculated is 60 points, so if you're applying for the 190 visa, you can get 5 extra points, and then you can be eligible to apply for the 190 visa. These are the two things which is different about 190 visa from 189 visa. Now let's move to the third visa in skilled migration stream, and which is very popular as well, and that is 491 visa. So for 491 visa, you need again 65 points. 491 visa, which is different from 190 and 189 visa. And the first one is that you are getting an invitation from a state or territory of Australia, and you should be living in that state or territory for at least 3 years. The other difference is about the points. So for 189 visa, you're not getting any extra points. For the 190 visa, you get 5 extra points. But while for the 491 visa, you get 15 extra points to apply for the visa. Now let's move to the employer sponsored streams. Very different from the skilled migration stream. This is not a point tested stream. An employer sponsor stream, you need an employer to sponsor you. Number one is 186 visa. 186 visa is a straight PR. So you can live in Australia permanently. Main point is you should be working for that employer. You cannot work anywhere else. The requirement for the 186 visa, you should have at least 3 years of experience, and your occupation should be in the relevant skilled occupation list. You might need a skills assessment for this visa. You should be under 45, and you should have a competent English again for this visa to apply. For the 186 visa, the requirements are you should be under 45, you should have a competent English, you should have at least 3 years of experience to apply for this visa. And now let's discuss the other visa, which is a 482 visa. So 482 visa is very different from 186 visa. 482 visa is not a permanent visa. This is a temporary visa. You should be working for your employer, and that visa can be granted from 2 years to 4 years. So you should be working for that employer and you cannot work anywhere else. There is no age limit for this visa. If you're above 45 and you cannot apply for the skilled migration stream, or you cannot apply for the 186 visa, so you still have a chance. You can apply for the 482 visa. That can be a good chance for you to apply if you have an eligible employer and who's willing to sponsor you. All right, so for the requirements, you should have minimum of 2 years experience to apply for the 482 visa, and you need a functional English which is just 5 overall in IELTS or 4.5 each in IELTS or equivalent PT or TOEFL or OET, etc. You might need a skills assessment to apply for the 482 visa. So this is not a permanent visa, but this visa can lead to PR. You are eligible, you can apply for the 186 visa, which is again a permanent visa. All right, now there's another visa, an employer sponsored stream. So 407 visa is a training visa, and so that can be paid or that can be unpaid as well. So that can also lead to 482 after some time if you work with your employer for like 2 years, and then your employer is willing to sponsor you for the 482 visa. So from 407 visa you can move to 482 visa, and from 482 visa again you can move to 186 visa, which is a PR. The 407 visa, the requirements are your age should be about 18 years and you should have a functional English. All right guys, now let's talk about the global talent visa. So the global talent visa is very different from the skilled migration stream and the employer sponsor stream. The global talent visa is for the talented people who have global recognition, and the best thing about the global talent visa is you do not need a skill assessment and your English requirement can be exempted as well. But there is one main point, that you need nominator in Australia who can recognize your qualification, that this person can earn the same salary as me and who is having the same qualification. So that's the main point. A nominator does not mean a sponsor. A nominator is just someone who is just working in your occupation in Australia, and he is a permanent resident or an Australian citizen. The global talent visa is a permanent resident visa, so you can live and stay in Australia permanently. All right guys, thank you very much for watching, and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and share the video with your loved ones. And just keep in mind that this is just a general information, this is not a migration advice. So if you need any assistance in migration, skill migration, or any kind of visa, we have a team of registered migration agents, so you guys can contact us as well and we will be able to help you out. All right guys, thank you very much and I wish you good luck. Take care. Allah Hafiz.